Part 2 on first looking into Chapman's Homer. This is about the sonnets by Keats. Between 1814 and 1819, Keats wrote 64 sonnets. They exhibit the wonder of Keats's poetic powers. In the sonnets, Keats conveys the range of his interests, his concerns, his attachments, and his obsessions. This is more about his interests. The sonnets are replete with sensuous feeling of nature. The poetry of the earth is never dead, that looks back to Wordsworth and forward to Frost. I only mentioned a few of his sonnets, some of which you've already read and some you will read in the years to come. Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art. O solitude, if I must with thee dwell on the grasshopper and cricket, when I have fears, and many more. Coming to the present sonnet. As I've told you, a sonnet is a 14-line poem. It is usually divided into the octave and the sestet, and the poet follows either the Petrarchan form or the Shakespearean. It's mostly Petrarchan. Milton did that. And you have Keats also experimenting with the form of the sonnets. On first looking into Chapman's Homer, is a sonnet written by John Keats when he was just 20 years old. You can imagine the enthusiasm, the charm, the happiness, the excitement of a young poet trying to share his experience of learning. Essentially, it is a poem about poetry itself. It describes the reading experience so profound that the entire world seems to come to life. The poem talks specifically about the translation of Homer, the classical Greek poet by George Chapman, an Elizabethan poet whose translations were more concerned with the reader's experience of the text than loyalty to the original form. But Keats loved reading Chapman. Had it not been translated, Keats would not have been able to read the epic. The poem was published in the newspaper, The Examiner, soon after it was written in 1816. It has the divisions of the octave and the sestet. The first part is about the poet's own quest of learning and encounter with Homer's work, the bridging gap between what he had heard and what he now experiences, and the last section is more of a metaphorical expression of this experience. I'll begin with the poem and you'd love each line.